To be or not to be? That is the question. You know, Shakespeare wrote so many beautiful speeches. Now, I wonder how this one sounds in Spanish. I'll translate it. Ser o no estar. Wait, no, that doesn't sound right. Estar o no ser. Nope, that's not right. Oh, come on, Juan. We can do this. I mean, how hard can it be? Ser, estar. So, what seems to be the problem? Doc, you gotta help me. I can't tell the difference between ser and estar. Ah, yes. The ser versus estar syndrome. I've seen it before. Can you help me? I can't eat. I can't sleep. I'm losing my hair. Oh, wow. It's worse than I thought. But not to worry. I have a Spanish lesson. They'll fix that in no time. Amazing! Yes! Bilingual high five? Let's better not. You might be contagious. Oh, yes, right. Good call, Doc. Hola, mi gente! Both ser and estar mean to be in English. They are two of the most used verbs in the Spanish language. But, unfortunately, the rules to use them aren't always so obvious, and it can lead to some confusion. But don't worry, we got you covered. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to recognize when to use ser and when to use estar. And I'll share my secret strategy to remember these rules. Are you ready? ¡Vámonos! Like I said, in Spanish, there are two verbs that mean to be, ser and estar. They both mean the same thing in English, but we use them for different situations. Let's begin with the verb ser, which you are already familiar with because we've been using it to describe our identity, as in soy bloguero or soy creativo. But still, let's refresh our memory. When do we use ser? We use ser when we want to express a permanent state or condition, things that don't change, or things that are not expected to change in the near future. For example, our origin is something permanent. Soy de Colombia, forever. Our personality is also a permanent state because it is our nature. It's who we are. Soy extrovertido. Tú eres aventurero. Let me show you other permanent conditions that would require you to use ser. And I'm going to share a simple but effective way to remember them. Whenever you find yourself wondering if you should use ser, think of the word doctor, because each letter in doctor will tell you a condition for ser, as in D for date, O for occupation, C for characteristics, T for time, O for origin, and R for relationship. The date is permanent because there's nothing that we can do to change it. I know sometimes we wish we could. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a time machine to travel back in time? But sadly, no. You cannot change the date. People's occupation is also considered a permanent condition because normally people don't really go through school for years and years only to change careers after a month. So we consider that a permanent condition. Our characteristics, or our personality, as we said earlier, also remains with us throughout our lives. Time, like the date or the day, is another thing that you cannot change. It remains as is. For how long? Only time will tell. A person's origin, as you know, it's permanent. And finally, your relationships to either something like your lifestyle or to someone like your family are things that are not expected to change soon. They're considered part of who you are. That's why you say, soy vegetariano, or soy el hermano. And now that we know all the different situations when to use ser, let's quickly remember the variations of ser and look at some examples. Make sure you repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. Yo soy. Tú eres. Él es. Ella es. Yo soy arquitecto. Tú eres competitiva. Él es de Perú. Ella es mamá. Great! Now, estar is the other way to say to be, and we use it to express temporary conditions, things that are expected to change at any moment, like location. 1 minute you're in one location and the next you're in another. Or feelings. You may be feeling sad now, but the moment you hear one of my jokes, you're going to be happy because, hello, I'm hilarious. Anyway, you can say estoy in whatever emotion you want to share. For example, estoy motivado or estoy feliz. I am motivated. I am happy. Just like in our previous lesson, we used me siento and an emotion to say me siento motivado and me siento feliz. You can use either of these to express your feelings, just like when you say in English, I feel happy or I am happy. To remember all of the conditions to use estar, we're going to use the word place. P for position, L for location, A for actions that are happening, C for conditions, and E for emotions. Let me explain. Position and location change as you move. You're sitting down in a room, but then you get up and you walk out. Just like that, you have changed position and location. Actions that are happening. You're watching this lesson. That action is happening now. So you say, I am watching the lesson. I am is estoy in Spanish. Estoy mirando la lección. Conditions like being sick and emotions like feeling worried are temporary. They will pass. So we say, estoy enfermo. I am sick. We hope that this will pass and then we will get better soon. Estoy preocupado. I am worried. We hope that this will also pass and trust that things are going to work out well. Now, let's see some of the variations of the verb estar with examples you can use to express your feelings and other conditions. Again, make sure you repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. Yo estoy. Tú estás. Él está. Ella está. Yo estoy alegre. Tú estás nervioso. Él está orgulloso. Ella está calmada. Excellent job! Now, we're going to practice what we have learned. Let's look at some conditions and situations and try to figure out if we need to use ser or estar. We have here inteligente and ocupado, busy. Which one would you use with ser and which one with estar? I'll help you. The word that expresses a permanent state goes with soy, and the one talking about a temporary condition goes with estoy. Soy inteligente, estoy ocupado. Repeat these sentences with me. Yo soy inteligente. Yo estoy ocupado. That's because intelligence is a characteristic that remains with you, while being busy can change. Here's another one. We have enojado, angry, and imaginativo. Again, which one goes with soy and which one with estoy? Think about the condition each word expresses. Does it remain or does it change? So, you would say, soy imaginativo, estoy enojado. Try to repeat this with me. Soy imaginativo, estoy enojado. Let's do one more to show why it's important to know when to use ser and when to use estar. Orgulloso means proud. You can say soy orgulloso and estoy orgulloso. Both are correct. However, they don't mean the same thing. Soy orgulloso means that you're not humble, that you probably think you're better than others, and that's who you are, permanently. However, estoy orgulloso means that you are proud of something that you did, maybe winning a medal or achieving something important at school. For example, estoy orgulloso de mi trabajo. I am proud of my work. See why it's so important to choose carefully between to be and to be? Good. Now, let's review what we did today. Today we learned that ser is used to express permanent conditions, while estar is used to express temporary conditions. We also looked at the word doctor to help us remember the rules to use ser, as in date, occupation, characteristics, time, origin, and relationship. And the word place to remember when to use estar, as in position, location, actions that are happening, conditions, and emotions. You did great! You will continue to see and use these verbs in other lessons, and little by little you become more familiar with them. But remember, the more you practice, the better you get at speaking Spanish. With that in mind, I'll see you next class. Ciao! Nos vemos! Hey.